everyone, Meep Reads here. Welcome back to another video. So today I tried to keep it school themed because many people are going back to school. Just like me, I go back in around a week. And so today I'm going to be reviewing Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life. So I hope you guys enjoy, and if you do, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications to be notified when my next video comes out. Let's get into it. Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life is by James Patterson and Chris Tebbets. It has 283 pages and it is a realistic fiction. Now I'll do the summary. Rafe Kachadurian is preparing to go through the worst years of his life, middle school. On the first day during an assembly, he learns about the worst part, the code of conduct, which has over 100 ridiculous rules inside. Then, with help from his friend Leo the Silent, they come up with a great idea, to break every rule in the book. After that, Rafe tries to do exactly that, and we read his perspective about it in this book while having to deal with bullies, his annoying younger sister, and his mom's mean boyfriend. Okay, so for the age range, I'm going to say that this book is actually good for 8 to 13-year-olds. Now, I know that 8-year-olds are not going into middle school, but this book, the way that James Patterson and Chris Tebbets wrote it, is that it's really good for younger kids. There might be a few words that are a little bit inappropriate for them, but it's not the worst thing ever. I've seen a lot worse. So, and then up to 13, because I don't think kids past 7th or 8th grade will like it. But I definitely like this book because it's not too hard to get through, and so kids that from these ages that don't like reading will enjoy this book a lot. I give the characters a 10. Now, I explained to you pretty much every character in the book at the summary, and there aren't really that many background characters, but James Patterson and Chris Tebbets write it in a way that there are no specific background characters, but they're still there, kind of like extras in a movie. You don't know their names, but they're there. And so yeah, and I liked that all of the characters had diversity and actual emotions, unlike a book that I might have done a review on. Go check that out, link in the description. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. I give the storytelling a 9, so it kind of reminded me of how well J.K. Rowling did with the Harry Potter books. Now, it wasn't exactly like that, but these are definitely great books for middle schoolers, like I said before. And one thing I want to say is that any James Patterson book, whether it's on his own or with Chris Tebbets, every single one of his series are probably the best series other than Harry Potter, but I'm really biased on that. But James Patterson is definitely second or third on my favorite authors. J.K. Rowling is obviously at the top. But after you read this book, you should definitely read some other books, which I definitely will be reviewing in the future, but that's all I have to say about it other than that. I give the plot an 8. Now, I really did like this book. I really liked it, but it was definitely its full potential, so I couldn't like it anymore. So I liked it, but I didn't like it enough to love it. If that makes sense, I'm sorry if it doesn't. But yeah, I think that this book is definitely one of the best out of the all the 13, 12 maybe, of the whole series. And some of the books in the middle don't really get that good. But this book definitely was one of the best. I give the length a 6. Now, I enjoy reading long books, and maybe you're not that kind of reader, whoever's watching me at home. If you like books like this, so if you like books like this, like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, for example, you're going to like this book. But I do not really like the length. But yeah, I really have no opinion other than that. But you might say that it was the perfect length. And it was, but it just wasn't long enough for me. And so that's why I gave it a 6. I give the ending a 7, and now, so there was a point that it kind of got sad, but then it got really good. So, yeah, it definitely wasn't the happiest of endings, but it was happy. But I took the 3 points off just because I wanted to be happier or a lot sadder and then get happier. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. Okay, so middle school got 40 out of 50, which was not bad at all, and it could have been a lot worse. It could have gotten in the 20s or 30s, and maybe even in the high 10s if it was bad as a specific book that I've reviewed, but I'm not going to mention. Link is still in the description. So anyway, one more thing before I wrap things up. And that is, should you watch the movie? And there is actually a movie of this based on these books, if you did not know. And I am going to tell you, yes, you should. And do not get your hopes up that the plot is going to be exactly the same in the movie and the book. Now, I think that the movie was actually, it might have been a little bit better, which you don't see that much. But the director did a very, very good job, so I say go right ahead and watch it and have a good time. Okay, so that's going to wrap things up for this video. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I have had a cold for a little bit. So that has kind of been interfering in the videos being produced. Not too much, but it might be affecting my voice, so I apologize for that. But anyways, if you enjoyed today's review, be sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video, and also turn on the bell so that you're notified when my next video comes out. I'll see you guys next time.